Hey everybody, Mike here. Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to go over the HackTheBox starting point machine, Mongod or Mongod. Either way you decide to read it, I see it as Mongod. I guess it's all the same. We're going to learn how to get through this machine. It is a little bit tricky if you're relatively new, but it's an excellent machine for learning how to enumerate and learning a little bit about NoSQL. So let's jump right into it. This is going to be a fun one. All right, so here we are inside of HackTheBox. Now we see we've got Mongod spun up right here. Let's go ahead and click our IP address to copy it to our clipboard. We'll head over to PwnBox. If you are using Kali Linux or Parrot Linux or some other form of Linux, you will go ahead and spin up that VM right about now. From there, we're going to run our normal scan. We'll do nmap-sv, or sc rather. Let's go ahead and specify our IP address right here. All right, so let's go ahead and run that and look at this. So we see right away, let's go up and look at these results. Let me expand this just a little. So we see it discovered open port 22. So it has SSH open, but nothing else. There's nothing else here. If we scroll down to this kind of summary, we just see SSH. So this is typically where I like to run my full port scan, keeping in mind that we just scanned only the top 1,000 or the most common 1,000 ports. I think I said it in my last video, which is funny because I wasn't thinking about this machine, but this is a good reason to run that second scan. So that other scan I like to run is nmap-v-sc, then -p-, so that will scan all ports. And then we'll go ahead and throw in our IP right there. So I like to run this because of these situations. We see only port 22 is open, and maybe that's true, but it's also possible there's more than 22 open. So that's what we want to confirm before we make any assumptions. So we'll let this run right here. We see 22 is open again, but we haven't seen anything so far. So let's give that a second. In the meantime, let me just kind of rearrange this a little bit. Okay. So let's pause it right here, and when it finishes this port scan, we'll pick up from there. All right, so it looks like our port scan did complete. We look at this right off the bat at the end of this script output. We see process is Mongod, which sounds like MongoDB. Let's scroll up through all of this. There's a lot of info here. Let's go. I want to go up to the beginning of this to see what port we're seeing. Okay, so if we scroll, oh, there we go. Geez, okay, holy Batman. All right, all of that scanning or scrolling. All right, so we have this port 27,017. We see, yes, that is indeed MongoDB. We do see that there is a database. So we have 3 databases. And look at this, we have the names of them. So this one's name is sensitive information. This one is local config. That might be interesting. Admin, users. So we have some good info here. And I'm not going to go through all of this. There might be some good info here. And this is something we typically would want to go through. But the thing is with MongoDB, MongoDB is essentially NoSQL. So it's a key value store, essentially. It is very similar to Redis. So Redis and MongoDB are both NoSQL instances. There are some differences in how they function. So Redis is an in-memory data store. MongoDB is stored on disk. So that's one of the key differences. I'm sure there's many other differences that I don't know about, but those are the first. That's kind of the first one that comes to mind for me. All right, the one thing I do know though is you can connect to MongoDB through CLI for management purposes, and very often there's no authentication configured. But keep in mind, our first scan over here on the left, we didn't see this port open. So we would have completely missed this if we had just not done this scan over here. So just keep that in mind as your first takeaway. All right, so how do we connect to this? So there is a Mongo Shell plugin essentially, or a software package that we can install in Parrot or Ubuntu or Debian or whatever you're running for Linux. Now, in my case, I'm using Parrot Linux because this is HackTheBox. I'm on PwnBox. So there is an excellent piece of documentation at the official MongoDB website. So this specific instruction is how to install MongoDB Community Edition on Ubuntu, which applied to my system here. Now, if you scroll down, there's quite a bit of instructions as far as kind of prereqs on getting the public keys, reloading the packages, installing the packages. This is the main package that you will need. It's mongodb-org. Now, once you've done that, you do want to start it. I know there's some instructions here. Where is it? Right here. Sudo systemctl start mongod. So that's very, very important. Now, if we go into our instance, I did install the package already. That's really all I've done up until this point. So if we go ahead and confirm that it's running, I would recommend you do the same. You do sudo systemctl status, then the package name. In this case, it's MongoDB. Was that it? Or -org, I think. Let's do that. Okay, so it's -org. Nope. Oh, MongoD. My mistake. There we go. Okay. So we see right here, it says MongoDB database server. The service name is MongoD. And we see active and running. So we know it is running. Like I said, I would recommend you go ahead and check that out. All right, from there, since we know it's actually running, our next step is to actually use that to try to connect to our target system. So in this case, the command structure is essentially mongo sh, mongo shell is the command. Now, here's the thing. I want to show you guys this to be careful about. Let's say you type in mongo sh, you hit enter. Oh, wow, look, we connected to it. No, just kidding. That was way too easy. It does say test, so we are in a Mongo database. But if we scroll up, look at this. Connecting to MongoDB 127-0 or .0.0.1. So we connected to ourselves on port 27017. So that's a key line that you can verify that you're in the right system. So we're not anywhere. We're on our local system. Let's go ahead and exit out of that. And we'll do Mongo shell this time. And see if we can do a --help. Okay, so we can, and this is actually really helpful. We have some examples. Let's see, let's scroll up. So in our case, we have an IP and we have a port number, so this should work. It does say that we can specify the database name right here if we'd like to. Let's scroll up further. There's a lot of stuff here. Okay, there we go. So it says Mongo shell options, then DB address. Okay, so let's go ahead and try Mongo shell and then just the IP and the port. And we could actually try, I think admin is, well, actually, you know what? Let's do this. And now that I say that, we do have some names of, I'm sure if we look here, I'm probably missing it, but admin is often a default. So let's try that. Oh yeah, there you go. So let's go ahead and do this. So we'll try to connect directly to these, maybe after we try this. So first, let's specify the IP address of our target, which is, where is it? Right here. So that's that IP. So we're going to go Mongo shell 10.129.60.73 : then we're going to do the port number that is 27017. Let's hit enter. All right, so it looks, yeah, so we're in. Look at this, connecting to, now it says the IP of our target, 27017 is our port. So now it looks almost the same. Now, as far as MongoDB commands, the trick here is you need to do some research on how to use MongoDB as a regular user. Don't think that, hey, I'm a hacker, I'm trying to get in. Think I'm an admin and I'm just trying to use it. In fact, one of the best things you could do to learn MongoDB or Redis, for example, or anything else that you're trying to break into, is install it locally. Install it and try to play with it, try to set it up, because that would have taught you exactly what you needed for this situation right here. All right, so in our case, with MongoDB, the command we're going to use is going to be show DBs, and we're going to end that in a semicolon. That is going to show us the databases on this system, which, by the way, because we ran scripts over here, we already had this information. We have users here, so that is one of our databases. We have users right here. We have admin here. We have admin here, right? And so on. We have sensitive information here, sensitive information here. So these are in MongoDB. These are referred to as collections. Or actually, these are DBs first. Let's go into one. So we'll say use, then our database name. Let's pick one. I will pick let's pick, you know what, let's pick sensitive information because that looks pretty suspicious. So if we do sensitive information, and I want to make a mistake here on purpose to show you guys something. Look at this name. So I purposely typoed this, sensitive underscore information. I don't know how to pronounce that. There's no N there, right? If I hit enter, if I do a colon and hit enter here, look, it says switched to DB sensitive information without an N. So if I go here and I want to look at a collection now, so I say show collections, it is empty, right? So that's the first thing you need to know about MongoDB. If you make a typo trying to select a database, it'll let you make that mistake. So what we really want to do here is we want to say use, and this time we want to actually type in the proper name. So sensitive underscore information. All right, so now it says switch to DB sensitive information. Now we can do show collections. And there we go. We see a flag here. Now, to view this flag in MongoDB, it's a little bit tricky, but once you learn the syntax, it's pretty easy. So what we have to do is type in DB. Then you're going to put in the name that we see here. So this is flag. So we're going to say DB flag. And by the way, that is technically what's referred to as a collection. So the format is db.collection name right here. Then we're going to do find, which is kind of like a function. So that's the format. So all we really needed to do that's unique to this challenge is change this right here. So flag, if it was named something else like usernames or something, we would change that to usernames. From there, if we hit enter, there we go. We actually see the object ID up here. And most importantly, we see the flag right here, which is our flag. So that's pretty straightforward. Not a lot to it, as you can see. Now, before we wrap up this lesson, I want to go ahead and exit out completely. And I want to try it the other way. So remember when we did, let's do Mongo shell -- help. So I want to try it this way. So instead of, let's see, let's go back up here. Let's try this format where we'll do / sensitive information and see if we can connect directly to the proper database. So in this case, let's just up arrow. We'll do the same command we did before to get in. We'll do / sensitive information. And let's do that. Okay, so it dropped us directly into this database. From here, if we were to do show collections, just like we did before, we have the flag again. All right, so that's all I got for you guys in this lesson. As you can see, it's pretty straightforward, but it is a good reminder that you got to take some time to learn about the other pieces, you know, in this case, MongoDB. How does it work? How do I connect to the database? How do I authenticate? All of that stuff. So I hope you found this video helpful. Until next time, stay nerdy.